Humdrum, boring, this meeting should have been an email, dry, when can we leave? Phrases like this, right? Ideally, don't come up or are not used to describe a gathering or a conversation. In this video, we're gonna unpack how to create humor in conversation. I really love to laugh. If you're not good at humor, or you don't identify as a funny person, you'll love this video. If you are a humorous person and you are a funny person, you'll love this video because I'm gonna unpack the science behind it. If you hate humor and think it doesn't have a place in conversation or work or life, don't watch this video, please. I'm Chad Littlefield. I'm the co-founder of We and Me and the creator of this connection toolkit. And one core aspect to connection is humor. It's one of the ways that we relate. Let's get into it. They say that laughter is the best medicine. Is that the phrase actually? Okay, well I just Googled it. I'm not really sure if they say that laughter is the best medicine, but I'm saying right now that laughter is great medicine. And in this video, I'm gonna share comedian secrets on how to create some humor and also the science and art behind humor. Robert Provine at the University of Maryland found with his research team that people tend to laugh 30 times more when they are with people than when they are alone. And for me, this is points toward the importance of humor in connection, right? We tend to laugh with people. Now, there are lots of reasons for that. And also, laughter is not synonymous with humor, right? You can think something's really funny and be deadpan and not laugh. You can also laugh and not think something is funny. One of my teachers, Jeff, always used to say that laughter is nervousness leaving the body. And since he said that, I cannot stop thinking about that. Every time somebody laughs, I'm like, were you nervous or you actually think that was funny, right? So I think there's different types of laughter. I've come to understand that there are different types of laughter, but oftentimes laughter with people is a like, it's like a nervous chuckle. Even if it's boisterous laughter, it's helps fill that awkwardness, right? I just got back from a little mini family reunion with some family that I haven't seen in many years. And there was a ton of laughter. Most of it was very genuine, like happy to be back together with each other. Some of it was like, we haven't seen each other for a while, and so let's just like say something goofy, everybody laughs, and it releases this tension, right? It's like nervousness leaving, or if it's nervousness leaving the body, it's tension leaving a group. The second piece of the science of humor is I wish that I could find the source. I tried really hard before hitting record, but I was reading a book that was about comedy and about the science behind comedy. And in it, they had a graph. And I have not been able to find this graph, so I don't even know if this is rooted in data or not, but the visual was extremely useful to help me understand what humor actually is. If you picture just a simple y-axis and x-axis, the graph of humor that was in this book that I can't remember went like this. I did find some science on it. I'll share some ridiculously academic language with you. But it's essentially, humor is where something is going one trajectory. So picture a line going like this, and you expect that line to continue because the human brain wants to extrapolate what's happening next. So it's saying, okay, we're going this way, we're going this way, we're going this way. We're probably gonna go this way. And humor and laughter happens when the story doesn't go that way. It takes a turn for something different. The research that I found on this, so you get the idea, right? You probably don't need any more than that to understand that humor is when we think something's going one way and it doesn't. I have a really fun example to share with you. But the academic language of humor is the juxtaposition of incompatible concepts. It's like, okay, right, two things don't go together and you put them together in a way, and it was surprising, and that created some humor or laughter. One really concrete example that I've been trying to master lately are dad jokes, right? So what is the leading cause of dry skin? Towels. This is like, terrible joke, but it was not the answer you expected. Now with that one, like you might not have expected any answer, but you were probably thinking about like, I don't know, some skin disorder or like dry temperatures or something else, right? You weren't thinking about what was funny about that was the fact that you weren't expecting something so obvious and literal. If you've ever come across anti-jokes before, this is a perfect example of how the trajectory of something is going one way and then it takes a deep dive turn for something else. So for example, what's worse than finding a whole worm in your apple? breaking your leg. Right? It's like, yes, okay, what's worse than finding a whole worm in your apple is, of course, if I'm extrapolating, it's finding a half of a worm in your apple. But when you go anti-jokes, is the idea that something so incompatible and juxtaposed that it's popped in. And now a caveat with this, some people find anti-jokes funny. Some people do not. I've learned that. I happen to be somebody who appreciates anti-jokes. Feel free to leave one in the comments if you want to make me laugh. The third way, and maybe the more practical way that this can show up in conversation, is through story. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you may have heard me share the story about the girl with tattoos all over her neck. And in that story, right, you expect that story to go one way, and when it doesn't, and I have told this story to many thousands of people in person, in live audiences or remote audiences, and every single time it creates quite a whole heap of laughter. And the reason is the story takes a turn that people weren't expecting. It also happens to be at my expense too, which probably starts to dip into the art of humor. Some of the stuff that's not necessarily rooted in data or science that we don't totally understand, but we know contributes to something being funny or humorous. Which, speaking of, let's shift gears completely into the art of humor. The first thing is energy. This used to really frustrate me, but the most common feedback that I would get after leading a workshop, giving a keynote, or even just a one-on-one mentoring or coaching call with a client, almost every single time somebody would come up to me and say, "Oh, Chad, I just love your energy." And they used to frustrate me because I was like, what do I do with that feedback? Like, I don't know what that is. And then I realized that is an essential element to why people laugh at a story that I tell, or why people are really present when I lower my voice. It's my energy is eking out of my pores. I can't help it. Maybe much to my wife's dismay at 5 in the morning when I wake up and I am feeling energy for life. Now, I don't wake up every morning at 5 a.m. feeling like that, but the point is your energy, it's not something that we've scientifically been able to point at. Energy is a little bit of an ethereal word, but you know it matters, right? I met my wife living on a Anishinaabe Indian reservation in northern Minnesota on this trip for a month. And there were these two medicine men. One of them, name was Richard Morrison. And he walked into the room, and I've got a little bit of ADD, ADHD. He walked in the room, and whatever energy he brought in with him was just, I was brought down to the ground. And I sat still and listened for 4 hours straight as he talked. He just had this energy that just commanded a presence in the room. It changed the dynamic. Some people have that energy that contributes to humor. So again, it's the art. I don't have a specific tip or directive here other than to tune into what energy you're giving off. If you're giving off a all business, monotone energy, no one's gonna laugh when you make a joke, right? Unless you're in Britain, maybe. The second note on the art of humor is around sarcasm. Will, my co-founder, introduced me to this idea that sarcasm in the original Greek actually means to tear flesh. And I need to fact check everything. So of course I fact checked that, and it actually means to tear flesh like a dog. And so as somebody who tends to be drawn towards sarcasm, it's really forced some introspection for me of how useful that is for people versus when it's at somebody else's expense versus when I could create humor through another pathway. If somebody comes up to me and I sarcastically say, "Oh, you look really nice today," or "Ooh, nice hair," right? I am tearing them apart in that. And it's just hidden with this culturally acceptable thing we call sarcasm. And so part of the art of humor is being really mindful. Will takes a stance. He says, no sarcasm. I don't take such a hard stance. I think sarcasm's fine if it serves a purpose and is at nobody else's expense. Or even if it's a little bit self-deprecating, I'm cool with that too. I think the best way to alienate yourself from a group or a conversation or an audience is to put yourself on a pedestal, someone who always succeeds, makes it, everything works out just fine, as opposed to being like, oh my goodness, you have no idea. Just like stumbling through the world, failure after failure, learning some things as we go. Okay, last bit, combining the art and science of humor, and I'm really, really excited about this one. I want to get better at humor, and so I would love for you to comment below with what you think creates humor in a conversation. In theory, the longer this video is on the internet, the more useful the comment thread will get. I'm Chad Littlefield. I hope this helped you as a leader or an educator make connection and engagement easy. Have an awesome day.